Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mork Borg, Rites from the Holy Mountain. Tonight, we are playing actual Mork Borg. I hope you all enjoyed our April Fool's episode of Duckborg last week, but tonight we are starting the actual anthology campaign, I think is the best way to say it, Rob.
Yeah, anthology.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we are starting with Rotblack Sludge.
That is correct.
So I hope you all enjoy. Before we jump into introductions, I just want to thank our sponsors, Die Hard Dice. Well, actually, specifically for this game, Mork Borg and Free League Publishing, but then also Die Hard Dice, 1985 Games, and Session Zero Clothing, and a special shout out to 1985 Games because they have a Kickstarter going on right now for their VHS dice, and they sent me a set, and they're very pretty. You can't really see them very well here, so I will share a link so you can go look at it. But they come in this
that box.
They come in a VHS style box. It's got a nice foam thing, and on the back it actually says rolling speed, normal or long play, rolling time 120 minutes or 240 minutes. It literally has like VHS tape stats on the back.
That.
It's great. I love it. I'm a nerd, and I appreciate that technology. But I'm going to drop a link to their Kickstarter in chat right now because it's really cool, and I hope you all go check it out because the dice are really pretty, and my camera will not do them justice right now. It actually looks kind of like there's the tape from inside a cassette inside the dice. Really cool. Anyway, go check that out. Go check out our other sponsors. And without any further ado, I'm going to hand things over to Rob to introduce us.
Hello. I'm Rob. I am Robert G. Reeve on Twitter, on Twitch, on basically everywhere on the internet. We are this is our first real session of Mork Borg tonight. If you were here for Duckborg, then thanks for goofing off with us. I hear this game actually gets kind of equally goofy. That there's a lot of like weird slapstick, lighthearted camaraderie throughout Mork Borg, despite the creator's best intentions, worst intentions.
Worse.
Also, I have a sketch from the Duckborg creator. He just gave me a sketch of your whole party from last session. So maybe
That's
on break I'll show that to y'all.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I hope it's just like a splatter of Iowa Jackson. I almost said Indiana Jones.
He's like, I've been working on this all week.
That splatter takes a long time.
You really nailed the detail in the exposed stomach there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we love that.
No, it's like a family portrait. It's a really cute Duckborg style family portrait. I'll show it to y'all on the break.
Awesome.
Cool.
I'm down.
Dan.
Yes. Hi.
Say
My
hey.
name is Dan. You can catch me on Not One Fun. Also, I can't see shit. Like, that's a contact. That's not a filter.
Real fake eyes.
That's a real fake guy. So if you see me like lifting this thing, it's because one, I'm not wearing my glasses. But two, I have this thing in here that's blocking like pretty much all light. So that's fun. Anyways, yeah, I'm Dan. You can catch me here or on Not One Fun, but like on Twitter and everything else. But today I'll be playing Carl, the Occult Herb Master.
Can you spell Carl for me?
Yeah, sure. It's Kazarll. Carl,
The
spelled
Z-
the normal way.
The Z is silent.
Right. Well, yeah, the Z is silent, but I thought that was obvious.
Who's up next? Selena.
Hi.
Oh, Raven.
I'll just do it. Jumping in. Hey. Hi, I'm Raven. I don't have a cool spelling of my character name. Although the J is silent. See what I did there?
I gotcha.
Y'all can find me on the internet almost anywhere at Wreck-It Raven, except for TikTok. It's Wreck-It.Raven. Not a long story, just an embarrassing one. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to be playing Huria, it's a priest of fanatical and all that. I forgot the name
A
of the
heretical
class.
priest.
Thank you. See, I knew what it was. So don't.
Heretic.
Yeah. I'm a heretic. It fit. I'm typecasting myself. So, yeah.
Now, Selena.
Hi, I'm Selena. I am _Uvidic on Twitter, and I will be playing Uther Geistmaw, the Fanged Deserter.
One thing that we didn't talk about during pre-roll, but we said we were going to talk about was lines and veils for today. We've got a couple. What you won't be seeing today is any harm coming to defenseless animals or children. We won't see anything about like I think like how to describe this, like motherhood, pregnancy, that kind of stuff. And we are not going to be blaspheming any real life religions today. It's an interesting needle to thread because I think Mork Borg, has a fair amount of upside down crosses littered throughout the book, but we're going to keep the real life religions out of our games today. What I don't have set up on stream is any like red or yellow cards. I know some streams have used like hand signals. So like if you need a minute to check out and you want to do that non-verbally, just like throw up like an X, and then we'll pause. We'll cut to a break. Because Mork Borg can be a little intense sometimes. Or I guess as intense as we choose to make it. Any other thoughts, Ian?
No, I think
Okay.
that's it. And then just to round out introductions before we get to our wonderful credits made by this guy Dan from Nat One Fun. I am Ian. Most of you probably know me. I am Ravnos on the internet. I'm the founder of Gehenna Gaming, and tonight I am playing the Decrepit One. What is my class? Hold on, I know this.
An esoteric hermit.
See?
Esoteric hermit.
Esoteric? I never know how to say it.
Esoteric.
I say esoteric,
Yeah, same.
I think I'm the wrong one here.
but the Z is silent. So
It's yeah. The
That's
Z
why
is
it's hard.
silent. Yeah, it screws you up. Yeah. So unless Rob, you have anything else?
No. Roll credits.
I'm just
Hey.
fixing my hair.
I'm
Do
always
I-
just fixing my hair.
Do I still look creepy when I like try to see things with my eye?
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Don't stop being you. I love it.
I think it's the right level of creepy turns funny from Mork Borg.
Okay, good.
Today we are running Rotblack Sludge, and there's one of the upside down crosses I just said was littered throughout this book. Or the Shadow King's Lost Heir, an introductory dungeon crawl for Mork Borg. Ooh, spooky music. So the front of this book has a bunch of like world lore stuff. And maybe we'll get to that. Maybe one of you can explain why you're from a certain region and might know more. But let's dive in here. You face execution for heretical theft, but a masked seer, a courtier of the Shadow King, offers you a chance at life. The king's one true heir, his son Alden, is missing. Without an heir, the Shadow King will eventually be forced to hand his crown to his imbecile brother. Get him back discreetly, and wealth, life, and freedom will be yours. It's believed Eldon is imprisoned in an infamous underground locale, a place no free man would willingly go, called the Accursed Den. So you have a masked seer that is talking to you all while you are chained to a wall here. If you have anything interesting to say about your characters here to set the stage, any interesting physical details, behavioral quirks, now might be a good time to introduce your characters, however short-lived they may be.
Shall I go first since I was first before?
Yeah.
So, Carl, I'm sorry, he basically, like his whole head is a little bit longer than it is wider. He has a strange, like, long jaw that's slack most of the time, filled with very sharp fanged-like teeth. You can see he has one of his eyes. It looks to be either like full of cuts or scratches possibly, but almost to the point of just obviously blindness. And the other one covered in some sort of eye patch. But his demeanor is very, head down and stares just darkly into the distance, and he just kind of mutters, "I don't belong here."
The masked seer comes up to you, and there's an impassive face. And he looks and he says, "Your eye patch covers your remaining good eye, not your wounded one. Others may find this comical, but I understand you must protect the sight."
What do you know about the sight?
He is touching his mask, but like on his forehead, not where his eyes are. And he says, "I see many things." Roll a d8.
Okay. That is a 5.
"I see an ancient man living within a ruined room. Fear and avoid him."
My head goes from like a very serious to like a skeptical.
Um.
Is he?
Uth-
Would he have been one of the ones that like tied us up here?
This is not one of the people who would have captured you.
Okay.
But this person, you have not seen them before. But you can tell that they are a person of like a noble bearing in the court of the Shadow King. You aren't sure if the mask is part of them being a seer,
Mhm.
or if the mask is them trying to hide their identity from you.
I just lean towards the ground again and spit some blood on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Once he leans in close enough, you realize the mask he's wearing is yours.
This obviously is upsetting, but Carl will refrain from saying anything.
He's moving down the row of prisoners to you, Uther.
Uther, Uther is not going to make eye contact. So I imagine that the closest comparison to Uther's presentation is like a war boy from Fury Road.
Okay, yeah, right on.
Arms covered in self-inflicted scars because he needs to try out every single weapon he has on himself before he inflicts it on others. Teeth filed to a point, hands caked in sores. So how exactly am I bound?
You are chained to a wall.
What part of me is chained to a wall?
Arms and legs.
Okay.
We got shackles at the wrists and the ankles. They've got some give in them.
So yeah, Uther's just kind of testing the weight of these chains, and the sores on his hands are opening up.
You in particular have an extra grill across your mouth that is covering your sharpened teeth. And the seer is looking at you and says, not getting too close to those. Simple yes or no will do from you. Are you willing to go on this mission for your freedom, to have this gag removed? Good. He's advancing down the line to you, Huria. Your heresies, priest, have exiled you from the court, and you found yourself here. Unfortunate. What a long way to fall.
So, real quick, Huria
Mhm.
is kind of like a little tiny bean. I would say she's only about 5'3". She is wearing a mask over the top portion of her head around her eyes.
Mhm.
Because she may or may not have a secret. And half of her face is kind of just like rotting away, right? So you can tell that at one point she may or may not have been an attractive being. But as it stands, she has been through much in her very short life. And she just kind of smirks.
Mhm.
And looks up at this seer. And I'm assuming that I too am chained like hands, wrists, and like otherwise.
You are given slightly better treatment than some of the other people here because you were once a priest. You know a little bit about this Shadow King and the mission that this courtier is offering you, this chance at freedom. The Palace of the Shadow King rises over the land Graventosk. It's a Gothic black castle, and most of the palace lies in crumbling ruins, home to unfortunate souls sheltering beneath its broken halls. There are tunnels. A bunch of people live in the tunnels, and the inner wing of the castle still stands, and that's the home of the Shadow King, who you have never seen because he is obscured by ritual. He has slaves, servants, and courtiers who go forth and do his will. You know, as part of your heretical learnings as a priest, that the Shadow King always his children are always sons, and that many princes might disguise themselves as ordinary people back in that kingdom. Some of them even just like enjoy fucking with the citizens.
You're asking me if I would like to go on this adventure. I would much rather die here than continue to be hunted by the two-headed basilisk. So make it worth my while, seer.
If you survive and return with the king's son, Alden, then perhaps some of the obscuring magic of the Shadow King can be worked upon you, and you will be hidden from the basilisk's sight.
She just kind of smirks widely, like with this very jagged grin.
Okay.
Ah, yes. I think I have cleared my schedule of being stuck here.
Because you will become obscured from sight, it would be uncouth of me to offer you a vision of this place you're about to enter. You don't see a smirk underneath this mask, but you can feel it.
I kind of like stand up tall and like try to flip my hair. And I say, what's a little favor between friends?
Very well. Roll a d8.
All right. Where I would love to. There we go. Okay. 4.
4. I see lamps burning red, the lamp oil touched with human blood.
Huh. It must be really bright.
He is now sidestepping over to one more prisoner, and that is you, the decrepit one.
And before he can even talk, I've just been giggling and cackling and chanting Sight and Fangs and God over and over and over again as he's been talking to them. Just like and then you see him just pull one of his hands out of the shackles, just the skin sloughing off of it and picking at scabs on his face and then sliding it back in like he didn't do it. And his face is just like half, like very much rotting off. Like he should be wearing a mask and he's not. And he's just like and when the guy gets to him, he just goes silent.
You are going on this mission simply because we do not want you here in this prison any longer.
Say anything. I'm just like swinging a little bit.
You don't even know where you are, do you? He's gesturing with a hand, and all of your shackles, guards are coming in to undo them. If you fail, know that we have an endless number of other prisoners who are up to the task.
Are they also removing my gag?
One of them looks kind of nervous around you, but yeah, is like with trembling hands is taking a key up to the mouthpiece where you've got like this metal plate like locked in. It's very like Hannibal Lecter.
As soon as it's removed, I'm gonna take like a playful snap at the hand of the nearest guard.
Sure, give me a how playful, like are you actually trying to are you trying to get a
I'm
finger?
just trying to scare them, and then I'm going to smile.
Give me a presence check. A presence test.
We'll get it down by the end of it.
Got many sessions to do.
So my modifier is a -1.
Sick.
So I got a 13.
Yeah. You lunge out and you snap your teeth, and he drops the keys and yelps and jumps back.
Does he go for the keys as soon as he drops them?
He's not taking his eyes off of you.
Okay.
But he's like leaning down slowly to reach down and pick them up.
While he's going for the keys, since he's taking his time about it, I'm going to direct one of my pet rats. I have 2 pet rats named Flim and Flam. And we just kind of have an unspoken bond. So I'm going to say Flim's going to go for the keys in an attempt to pull them back and toward me and kind of out of sight before the guard can get to them.
Sure. Your rats that have been hanging out on the windowsill that your captors didn't even really realize were there. They dash in and they grab these keys and they retreat with them into a little hidey hole.
I'm just gonna eye the guard and watch him fumble around for the keys that aren't there anymore.
He spits. Vermin. He doesn't seem to realize they were yours.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're all unchained here, and you are provided all of the equipment that you normally start with, that you all rolled up. That's returned to you for your mission.
I start looking through my vials. 1, 2, 3. They're all here.
And you see the very decrepit. It's an accurate name. Older man going through things, and he pulls a bone out of a bag and kind of looks at it and stuffs it back in the bag, and he pulls out like this old, like, falling apart leather book and looks through it, and he's going through things, and the entire time he's just muttering. He's like, rats and keys and bones and files, and just like, it's like you can tell he's aware of what's going on around him, but he doesn't act like it.
Let's find some stuff on travel. I think I know somewhere in here there are travel rules. I need a second to find them.
Quickly before we leave, I guess,
Mhm.
I will try to see if I can either get my mask back or at least
Hmm.
request it back.
How do you want to
So-
do this?
I approached the person that was wearing it previously,
Yeah, this alleged seer.
and I just look at him and I say, nice mask. Looks familiar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I bare my like sharpened teeth and I kind of look up in the air. I'm gonna need my mask back.
I rather think I would keep this one.
If I can, I kind of want to help out. So I have my bomb in my hand, and it's like a little teeny tiny one, right? Because we just got that. And I kind of like trot up behind Carl with a Z that's silent. And I like place my hand on his shoulder and I like wave. I think he needs his mask back. I don't want to light this.
You would kill us all, including
Yes.
yourself,
Yes.
for this stranger.
Yes.
Very well. He is reluctantly taking off the mask.
I
And
will
he-
like reach out my arm, and the arm is like cloaked in shadow, like as it reaches up through my cloak, until it finally gets out of the cloak itself. And when it does, it's like this shriveled old, like black, like the skin itself is blackened.
Mhm.
And I reach out with like a very almost bony hand and snag it out of the air.
Yeah, it's you're looking at a for this wretched world, a handsome enough young man, late teens, early 20s, who looks like he must be one of these like courtiers, part of high society.
I don't know.
You don't recognize him. Definitely
I don't
not your
know
people.
you.
Good.
And you don't deserve a mask like this. You have no idea what it takes to gain such things.
Actually, I do. All it takes is taking it from you.
You are not worthy.
Yeah, there's a dismissive wave. And he's leaving here. He's leaving it to the guards now.
I don't walk more than I like float. when I move, I do like very small steps to make it look like my cloak doesn't shift whenever I step.
Mhm.
And I just kind of float away. And I side glance. Hold on, let me make sure I'm getting names right. Is it Huria? Huria?
Yes.
So I'm gonna side glance Huria, and I just kind of like look, and I don't say thank you. I don't do anything. I just look in your direction, and I like squint my eye, and then I continue forward.
I squint back.
Are you still wearing the like cover over your eyes though?
Well, so she's yes and no. So like you can see the edges of it, but it's pretty well like tailored to
Okay,
the
yeah.
curves of her face.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Kind of
makes
like
sense.
back in like World War II when those people were like making actual like parts for people.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
essentially
yeah.
like a veil.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so yeah, I'll squint and you squint, and we acknowledge each other's existence as I move on.
Uther's going
Yes.
to observe Carl sort of floating, and I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out a wad of like used chewing tobacco and stuff it into my mouth and like take a second to just like chew on it a bit. And I'm gonna snort and talk more to my rats than to anyone else. Spooky.
You hear the sound of wood and like bottles as I wheel out my wheelbarrow of and like my portable apothecary.
And I'm sorry. You go.
I was just gonna ask Rob if when they brought us our things, did they bring my donkey in with them, or is it waiting outside?
Some of your stuff is outside. The big stuff would be outside.
Okay.
There's like a room where they seem to have stored many of the belongings of prisoners, stuff that wasn't worth stealing outright from them. And your donkey is outside. It looks like they haven't really been feeding him. He's a little undernourished.
So it looks the same.
Okay.
How did they bring in my shit-covered sword?
That appears to be wrapped in burlap. In like and it looks like it's like rusted, pitted, gross, and looks frankly disgusting. So it seems like no one must have known what a formidable weapon it really is.
Arya's just kind of gonna like skip and like almost sing this very weirdly like melodic, haunting tune about like these deities who are the two-headed basilisk, and like essentially going to start putting really small details in that would contradict what we know of them.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the basilisks here. Let's do some world building. We've got a couple of basilisks. There are two basilisks, and each basilisk has two heads. One is named Verhu, and predicts all of the annihilations upon the world, and is always right and utterly full of himself. Allegedly, you might be able to avert the apocalypse by providing correct offerings. And Verhu wants many temples. Then there's a female basilisk with two heads, and her heads are Lucy and Arch. Lucy is a head of denial, and Arch is a head of deception. They claim that they're the ones who actually speak all the truths, and that Verhu's just, stealing all their good material.
Typical.
Verhu's other twin head is Gorg. He is perpetually bitter because everybody brings Verhu gifts, but nobody brings Gorg gifts. So those are the 4 basilisks, the 4 heads on 2 separate basilisks. You know, think about some things that you might have heard about of them that are some blasphemies. They don't see a lot of people. There are many cathedrals to them throughout the land, and most of their prophecies were written down by a monk named Anuk Schläger. So many of these prophecies are lost and frequently rediscovered. So there's always new ones coming to light.
So there's a prophecy called Anuk Schläger.
That's a monk who
a monk
transcribed many of them.
Got it.
It's a monk that the Basilisk Verhu in the year 565 whispered many prophecies to. And these lost texts are sometimes called the Nameless Scriptures.
So Hurria's song would probably involve, you know, more positive things about like the female basilisk.
Hmm.
And very much like, yeah, men suck. Obviously, they're stupid. So
at the broadest, like the highest level, they when the basilisks are written about in kind of like vague and holy terms, they're often just referred to as he and she. So if in a pinch, just as Raven, you can't remember their names, he
I'm
and
not
she
gonna
do
remember.
just fine.
It's fine. Perfect. Love that.
I got you, girl. I got all the notes.
Right? Just yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, whatever. But it goes. It goes.
So one of the guards who is requisitioning back your gear is also passing you a scrap of paper with some jagged lines drawn on them, Uther, and says, Roy, this is probably best with you on account of you have said the least and therefore are probably the sanest.
I'll snatch the paper away from him.
It's a rough map through the woods out of this palace and into the woods of Sarkash, where the accursed den is hiding.
I'm going to spit some chewing tobacco at that guard's feet. And we're just in a cell. Do I have any recollection whatsoever of where we might be? Like in what area? Is there an X on the map? Like you were here?
You are in the dungeons of the Shadow King, in his palace. His castle is large. Here we've got a very dark and brooding illustration here.
Okay.
And it's got many deep catacombs where people live, make their entire existences. And the higher you get, the nicer it gets. But you're pretty low in the dungeons now.
So I'm gonna spit that kind of really foul chewing tobacco at the guard's feet and say, if you want us to do this, we need an escort out of here.
Yeah, the guard says, yep, that was already part of the plan on account of we got to make sure you actually get out of the city and don't cause no trouble.
Trouble. Us.
Well, I'm not much of a bookman myself. Didn't keep track
You don't
of
look like
why
one.
each of you are in here. I will choose to ignore that comment. And because I don't really care how you got in here, all I care about is you getting out of here. And I don't got to know much more than that.
How clean are these prison? Is this jail? Prison?
You feel like if these guards took a few days off, you a lot of people would just die. It's decrepit. There's like some crumbling stone. There's you're looking, and like one of the walls has a giant hole in it, and you can feel like a wind blowing in. It seems still decently high up. And then there's a labyrinth of tunnels that you don't remember the route that you were brought through to get here. So he says, if you're thinking about just running for it, you'll take a wrong turn, probably find a troll.
If he does see me looking around, I'm actually looking around to see if there are any dead bodies.
There's probably some guards who are like cleaning out some cells where prisoners expired.
So have they like pulled a body out into the hallway as they're like
Yeah, sure.
ushering us? I will have just kind of wandered off, and I'm trying to remove a finger from the body.
One of the guards stops you and says, Hey. Those are worth money.
I just mutter incoherently, and I don't actually stop.
He's yanking the corpse's hand away, and he says, 3 silver a finger.
When he yanks the corpse's hand away, does the finger break off that I'm holding?
Why don't you give me a strength test?
Ooh, that's gonna be bad.
Can I spot this out while he's doing this? Are you doing it in secret?
No, super obvious if you're paying attention to me. Not trying to hide it all.
I will have floated over during this interaction.
Okay.
I actually, with my -1 strength, I got a 15.
Hell yeah. Yeah. When he goes to yank this thing, like a chicken's wishbone, it breaks off with some extra on it for you. It must be a sign of good luck.
Fantastic. And that is just gone into my robe that I'm like wearing.
Into my mouth.
I will
Road snacks.
Since I'm like right behind, I will kind of float over, and if the guard is like making an attempt to be like to get it back, or any attempt to like move forward, I'll stick out like my like bony hand towards him, and I'll say, "Wait." And you hear like, I kind of like reach into the inside of my coat, and like you hear like tink 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 of like of glass, and then you hear like one of the things open, and I pull out.
He hears the tinking and
Mhm.
gets excited because he thinks it's silver and that you're going to pay him.
Yeah, no, I definitely pull out
Yeah.
a much more decrepit finger, one that has like fallen to pieces basically,
Mhm.
and I say, "This one's just as good."
Is it? And he's
I do like the little. I hold it up and go tink 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 tink.
yeah, he says, you know, you can keep it. And they're taking the dead body away.
Is the guard who gave me the map still in front of me?
Yeah, he seems to be the foreman here.
I'm going to kind of like do an unseen motion for Flim and Flam to crawl up my legs and onto my shoulders with the previously stolen keys.
Okay.
And let's say Flim grabbed them, so he'll drop them into my hand.
Okay.
And my bloody, sore covered hand that was kind of rubbing against my shackles previously will like close on the keys, and I'll just smile with all of my teeth really slowly and say, "These are mine now."
So you're like showing the guard that you have them, and you're just keeping them.
And if he makes a step toward me, I will, with my other hand, kind of unveil my shit-covered sword and bring it up in front of me before he can take a step forward.
He does take a step forward and then a step backwards, less because he's scared of the attack, but more because he wants to avoid the smell.
Once I have
and
the finger, I just start shuffling towards the exit.
okay.
I am looking around to see if there are any other components that I could collect as we leave, though.
They're getting pretty tired of y'all, and the foreman is gesturing for some reinforcements, and an extra 7 or so guards are here to escort you out through these tunnels. And he says, "This is enough delaying. You know it's the end times."
It's your loss. You could have been one finger richer. I just put it in my coat again and just kind of start floating back and like exiting.
And I would like to find the guard that is closest to me and like attempt to jump on his back so he carries me out.
What would this be? Probably a presence test.
You know, we love that. We love that. Okay. Well, I say that, but we might not because I was rolling ones last time. So that's a nat 20 plus 3.
Oh my goodness.
That's the only one I'm gonna get, I promise. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah. When you go to this guard, he looks you up and down for a moment and seems surprised. And then he says, "Some of us remember her. She speaks the truth." And then he's getting down on one knee in front of you.
Yes. Very good. Now carry me.
Yeah, yes, my lady. And as he is carrying you out of this dungeon, he is whispering to you a few people in the Palace of the Shadow King who are also heretical priests who left Galgenbeck, the capital city far away, for this place because Galgenbeck only worships the male basilisk. He assures you that many such heretics here are looking to start a new cathedral.
Very well. And I'm just kind of like making notes and like the only way I can with like a vial of blood and some really shitty parchment.
Yeah. Yet we lack a charismatic priestess. There are some men who could do the job, but men are
No,
meant
they
to
can't.
serve.
You see, I knew I liked you. I knew I liked you. Yes, I think that'll do. Assuming I don't die here, which I very well may. You will find me again, yes?
Die, who could possibly wish to harm a radiant creature such as you? You are meant to be worshipped.
Well, I agree, and I am very excited at this conversation. I have shit to do.
He says, no, it is my duty. I must carry you as far as I can possibly take you. And then, when I expire, you will find others who worship her. And they will carry you even further.
So I kind of just like turn around and like I look at everybody, or am I in front of them, or like where's my positioning at this point? I'm assuming in front.
I had scuttled off, so I might be ahead, but I would be probably the only one.
So, Raven, with your natural 20 here, you have recruited an outcast follower.
We love
this
that.
follower is going to accompany you into the Rotblack Sludge. They're not just going to leave you; they're going to go all the way with you. This is an Earthbound. These freaks are roughly 3-part human to 1-part dog.
We love that.
Society sees them as foul, diseased, and disloyal because they carry canine blood. Isolation and contempt have made them self-reliant scavengers. So we have we've got some traits here. Why don't you roll 1d4 to see what his specialty is?
Okay.
2 seconds in, and you have a companion.
I mean, you know. All right, I got 3.
Okay. He's quiet. His specialty is sensing danger. And I'm going to roll a d6 here to secretly determine what he values.
It's a pretty damn good, useful skill. Sensing
Right.
danger.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to make a note of him.
Okay.
Uther feels oddly threatened by him.
I kind of like just pat this gent's head. And I tell him, your name is Francois now.
It was not before, but now it is, my lady.
Yes, that'll be just fine, Francois. And then I turn around and I say, hey, got another one.
Unbelievable.
You're welcome. And I turn around and I make eyes at Carl with the Z and I squint.
I turn away. I go.
I'm gonna shoulder my traveling sack off and throw it to Francois and just say, if you're coming along, make yourself useful. And then I'll spit at his feet.
I'm sorry. I must carry the lady's burdens. Yeah, he's looking you up and down.
Francois, darling, light of my life. carry this nice who are you?
Uther.
Carry this nice Uther's things.
Nice.
Yeah, he turns to you, Uther, and he says, do you worship her, the 2-headed basilisk? The
And
one
then
who...
Sure. Sure I do.
So confident.
He slowly but skeptically nods. What is this map you carry? He's looking it over. It goes through Sarkash.
You
The
see
forest.
Carl's like demeanor kind of changes for a second as he like now like whips his head towards the map.
Yeah, you're looking at the map. It is it looks like it navigates out of the palace through the forests of Sarkash, which lately have been spreading unnaturally fast. The forest paths tangle and wind into overgrown gloom.
So, being that Carl is from Sarkash,
Mm-hmm.
Carl will just kind of look at the map and say, we must tread through Sarkash, yes?
Yeah, this guy's looking at the map and says, it seems so.
Maybe we can pick up a few things along the way.
Raven, Herya, tell me, what do you think about the alleged end of days that the male basilisk is raving about? Do you believe that the world is going to end in about a half year, or do you think otherwise?
I think otherwise.
Okay.
It may or
in
may
that-
not be wise, but that is, I am true to who my character is. Thank you very much.
In that case, then Francois will say, others would tell you not to tarry, that every day wasted is one step closer to the grave.
My friend,
But we know
we
these
are-
to be lies. We can take all the time we need in Sarkash.
we are
No.
always one day away from death.
Well, we're not going to take all the time, Francois. That is bold. We still have things to do, and I personally would like to get past all of this so I can live my life not doing this shit.
We must hurry through Sarkash. The lady demands it. We cannot take all day in Sarkash. Whose
But
idea
we-
was it to
we-
waste time in Sarkash? Let's go. Why did you suggest this? He's looking at you.
I kind of look. I look now and like, as I look over at her. Yeah.
We're going, but we're not taking all our lives.
The journey will take a couple of days. Let's say, who wants to roll a d4 for me?
Gotcha. Got fancy new dice. I want to roll them. The entire time that you were talking about Sarkash and everything, also, I was just shuffling on ahead, and you just hear him muttering like maps and keys and fingers and time, and he's listening to everything you're saying, but
It
something's
translates.
different there.
It translates, but not the way that most people
You would want
speak.
it to.
Yeah, that's fine.
That was a 4.
Okay. It's going to take you 5 days to get through Sarkash. So
yes, good.
I'm going to roll a d20 5 times, once for each dawn. If we roll a 1 on this d20, a misery occurs, and we will consult the calendar of Necroball. All right, I got a 9,
Insult.
18,
I would like to say during
16,
travel,
19.
this whole time, Carl is
11.
scouring the grounds and scouring the forest and everything that we move through as he looks and scans for random bits. He'll pull a rotted mushroom off the ground as he takes a long sniff at it and then puts it inside of a vial. And then he'll find a frog that is currently like plagued clearly, and like slice off one of its warts on its back and then place it inside of another vial.
It is easy to find these things in Sarkash. Harder to find in Sarkash is Graven Tosk, an ancient cemetery filled with mausoleums, blank-eyed cherubs, stagnant fountains, plague pits, and ordinary graves. You have stumbled upon it in your time, wandering here, collecting reagents for your various herb masteries. You notice that it feels warmer in this place than before. As you are wandering further from the paths, trying to gather ingredients, you can hear frantic scratching here and there. It sounds like it's coming from beneath the earth.
When we stumble upon Graven Tusk, see get very excited, and I start looking for bones.
You would see Carl kind of shy away and float towards the back of the group.
I would actually like to use stones taken from Fel Imas's Lost Temple to see if there's any danger beneath us.
Yeah, okay, heretical priest. Busting out your class ability here, huh?
Yes.
Stones taken from Thelamas's Lost Temple. Cast the stones on the ground. Their pattern reveals if danger lurks in an adjacent room. The stones can lie. The priest tests presence DR10 to see if they are true, but after failing, they cannot test again until the sun has set.
So I need to roll a presence test.
Yeah, so you're going to roll a d20 and you are going to add your presence.
12.
Okay. Yeah, you cast the stones on the ground, and the stones say that yes, danger lurks in an adjacent room. You're looking around, and you do see a crypt, like a shuttered mausoleum.
Okay. And I look to Francois and I say, Francois?
My lady, he's running over.
Okay.
You didn't see him, and now he's here.
What's going on? Do you sense?
I don't know. I watched you throw rocks.
They're stones. They're old kidney stones.
Yeah, he's eyeing them. They look large. What were they the kidneys of?
Me. They were my kidney stones.
You see Carl looks up like, where did you throw them?
There. And I point to the ground.
I'm just going to.
No,
Very well.
when we are done, you can have one.
While this is happening, Uther is just going to be kind of casually picking bits of his own flesh off of his hands, and I'm going to feed my rats.
Oh,
Okay, gross.
I kind of look over and I'm like, that is so precious.
The gift of life.
All right. all right.
Yeah. Francois is sniffing near the crypt and says, "A zombie lurks within."
Zombie. Zombie. And then I kind of
No,
look. I
The
look
Walking
to
Dead.
Uther and Carl with a Z that's silent. That's how I'm just gonna call you from now on. I'm sorry.
It's good. It's
Amazing.
good.
This might be up your alley. This is, you're into that kind of thing, right?
That's very presumptuous of you,
Is it?
but you're correct.
I'm gonna hoist my shit-covered sword kind of over my shoulder and say, "It's no problem."
Yes. Send in the dullard. You go first.
And I shrug as I start picking up my stones, and then I kind of like sneak over and drop one, like the smallest one, in Carl with a Z that is silence hand.
Oh, why, thank you.
Of course.
He just takes it and you just hear tink, tink, tink in one of the glasses.
And I look at Uther and I find another one and I. Yes? Uther?
Oh, void cat.
I will kind of reach my hand forward.
There we go. Put that
One
there.
of you
and then-
only has one hand, right? Who in this party has a hook hand?
That then.
Finn has
Okay. Yeah.
hook hand.
And then I find because I have about 18 of these things, right? And then I find another one. And I kind of look over at the decrepit one. I'm like,
I'm gonna look at this kidney stone and shrug and then throw it into my mouth like a grape.
obviously,
As you do.
there's no better choice.
And I shuffle by and I just and I keep going.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
I
I
put
love
them
that.
back in the satchel and kind of tuck them away.
And then I go back to staring at the crypt very excitedly.
This one seems excited. You want to come with?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay. I just look at you and I look back at the crypt and I start walking towards it. Very casually. I'm just like,
I'll just shrug and kind of follow suit.
Yeah, there's a crypt that is like it's got a stone door that's like walled shut.
Can I go ahead and pull out one of my vials that I made this morning? As we travel through, you will see me pull out a vial that looks to be covered. Well, not covered, but it looks to be like a smashed up something, like a very biological smashed up creature. Some feathers within. And Carl looks around and it comes out very viscousy, you know, and it covers his mouth. You can see it kind of pouring down the sides. And then he reaches inside of his coat and you see him chasing something around for a second. Then he pulls something out and it's like almost the size of a tarantula. And he just, it's literally still alive and squirming and just bites into it like an apple. And I would like to eat my spider owl soup, which gives me the ability to see in darkness and to climb on walls for the next half hour.
Spider owl soup. Yeah, okay. So this is coming out of your portable laboratory because you're an occult herb master. This is like your class ability, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you were raised here in Sarkash, right?
I was.
Yeah. Okay.
Raised is a very generous word.
You feel your abilities becoming superhuman here, and but your strength is not enhanced, and this door is still before you.
I just look around and say, it was precautionary. Do your thing.
Who wants to open this door, and how do they want to open it?
I'll open it. I'm gonna kick it.
Yeah, you kick it. It's pretty sturdy stone.
I kind of like quietly like take out this little tiny bomb. And I look at it and I look at the door and I look at everybody else.
There are seams on the door and it is a little bit cracked. If you're giving it a sturdy kick, Uther, why don't you give me a strength test?
I rolled a 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you kick on the stone and it loosens and cracks a bit. But does not budge. It looks like maybe the stone has just kind of like sunk down into the dirt a little more.
Leave it to this one to go and try to punch a rock.
And I'm still kind of just mourning the possible loss of this bomb.
I will after the door looks like it cracks and loosens from the kick, I'm gonna walk over and I'm just gonna try to haul it open. And this guy is fitting to his name. He's very decrepit looking. He's very frail. He's small. He's like tall and gangly and
just spidery and weird and
that was a nat 20 though.
What the
which is a 19 with
God.
my -1.
double that 20s.
You come over and you see that your decrepit one, he is staring at the stones for a long time, and you're wondering what he could possibly be staring at. And then he leans down low and plucks out the tiniest little piece of broken stone. And the entire door collapses backwards, and you hear on the other side. And poking up out of the stone is like a broken hand that is like feebly like scratching at the stone.
Not anymore.
And I squeal with
Wink.
delight, and I put my little tiny bomb back on my person. Not that I should. That's not a great place for that, but that's where it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that hand.
Yeah, that hand is still moving, baby.
Yep. I just grab it and I try to pull it off.
Yeah, you can pull it off, and when you do, it's still moving, baby.
So am I just holding onto a hand that's like trying to get at my face?
Yep.
Okay, that's exactly what's happening then. It's very Evil Dead.
Yeah.
It's a slow zombie hand. It's not a fast zombie hand. But if you let it out of your sight too long, it's gonna caterpillar away.
I'm going to take the keys that I took off the guard,
Mhm.
and kind of like fisticuff, because I have an improvised weapon, and just try to like punch the hand out of the decrepit one's face.
It's crawling. It's hard to say how menacing it is. Why don't you give me a strength test here?
10.
10. Yeah, you go to punch the thing, and suddenly the hand like jumps away. And looks like it's kind of hiding behind the other side of the decrepit one's head.
Like on my
And
shoulder.
for a weird moment, like it reminds you of one of your own rats, and how your rats will like perch kind of lovingly on your shoulder.
Like has sentience.
And like looking at this hand kind of reminds you of like it gives you a weird empathy.
Yeah, I'm gonna acknowledge it and kind of like look at Flam on my shoulder and go, huh.
Can I like try to protect the hand? I'll like go like and like protect it. And can I make a presence roll to see if I can tame it, I guess?
Sure, give me a presence roll to see if you can influence a severed hand.
Let's watch me totally fail on my best stat when I've been rolling really high on my worst stat.
Uh-huh.
Nope. That's 15 plus 2, so 17.
Okay. I applaud you with the sound of one hand clapping.
I love it. We're just gonna have these weird like armies of like body parts and peons.
Okay. You are looking down a stairway. It descends into a cave-like area.
I'm
There's a stale
positive there is going to be something of use for my apothecary down there.
Do you want to descend and go looking for it?
I do my I kind of float sideways for a second, and I say you as I look over at Uther, and I point down the stairs and I say, fetch us whatever you find down there.
How dark is this descending stairway?
Stairway is dark, but beneath there, in the distance, you do see hints of light underground.
I'm gonna shrug and start.
Yeah,
heading
I was
down.
gonna say right before you start heading down. Right before you start heading down, I'm going to say, wait, don't move. And I reach my
1 foot in the air.
weird blackened hands towards you. And I say, "Can I give you something?"
Snarl. Sure.
Do not bite my hands off.
Don't make me.
And I reach into my goods and I pull out another vial, this small tincture of a vial, only about this large, and I unscrew the little broken metal cap, and I say, "Lean your head back." Do it.
Right, I'll lean my head back and just kind of like
When you like
open my mouth.
gently like lean your head back and open your mouth, the creepy like blackened hand like cups your entire face and takes 2 fingers and widens open your eyeball, and I throw the tincture into your eye. And it's gonna sting like a motherfucker.
Ah! I'm gonna like stuck because I was expecting you to put something in my mouth, so I'm
Yep.
really surprised by this.
Yep. You now have Fernor's Filtry, which means that you are healed of any infections you may have. So that sword, you know, the cuts that you've made with that sword probably heal within yourself. But also you now have a +2 to your presence tests.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I get to roll the D4 for the amount of time. Let's see. You have it for the 4 hours.
Excellent. I'm going to make a temporary modifier to my character sheet.
We love that. We love that.
You said it was a +4, sorry.
+2 to your
2.
presence, and then but for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You would see that your pupil, instead of like getting wide, like your whole eye kind of does like this thing. It just like clouds over. Whew. But all of a sudden, like things shine differently. You get like, you know, like predator vision or something like that, you know?
Did you just give me dark vision?
Hell yeah, I gave you like +2 to presence though.
Nice.
You seem to colors seem brighter. You see a little hint of like a dark light, like a black light coming from down there as well, not just the faint torch light.
I feel great.
And I'm gonna call Francois. Francois, come.
My lady.
Carry me down there. We're going.
Down the stairs.
Yes.
Hang on.
Yeah. Whoa, hold on.
Let me go first.
Okay, but
Yes.
I'll
let the
be
men
like
go
3
first.
steps behind you.
Men are expendable.
I nod silently. Okay.
Yeah, he'll carry you 3 steps behind, down the stairs.
Do you follow?
I will follow,
Marching
but many
order.
steps behind. I will climb. I guess if you're the only one left, you would see me climbing the side of the wall and then hang upside down going down the stairs.
Okay. I just walk down the stairs. I follow them.
My cloak, for some reason, doesn't fall over my head, though.
We do love that. We love magic that has purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, so Uther first, then Carl, then the decrepit.
No.
No.
I'm behind Uther with Francois. I'm on
Okay.
Francois is carrying me.
Okay, got it. And let me find.
So for all
let me find a
intents
good
and
friend.
purposes, Francois is second.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I appear to be. I'm last, but I'm also like directly underneath Carl.
Yeah, we could do
Yeah.
just kind of parallel.
Oh,
with
like
each
in
other.
Duckborg when y'all were on that worm. Okay, I remember.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Okay. Where can I find a nice weirdly wolfish guy for Francois here?
And roll 20.
Yeah. I'll grab I'll keep it simple. I'll just grab one of these weird werewolf looking guys and then we'll throw them on the map.
We love that.
And then I'll have them here. Okay. Yeah, you're descending down the stairs, and Uther, if you are going first, you can see that a lit oil lantern hangs from the ceiling here, and you can hear the babbling of a small stream of water. It's there are holes low on the walls, and the stream is running across some earthen ground. Flapping over the water are black violet butterflies. On the far side, you can see that there are two wooden doors, one to the left and one to the right, both slightly ajar.
Is there any light coming out of either one of the rooms?
Good question. Yeah, there is a light coming out of the cracked doorway from the left room. The light is brighter on the left door than the light coming out of the right door.
I'm gonna hold up a hand in front of Francois just to kind of like stop.
Mhm.
I guess this is the universal hand signal for stop. And I'm going to, with my temporary dark vision, head over to the right room, the more dimly lit one, and see if I can peer in to that room to kind of get a sense of what might be in there.
You go and you peer into that room. Are you doing this? How are you doing this?
Quietly.
Okay. If you are doing it quietly, then I think, let's see. Is there anything in here? That yeah, you come sneaking up quietly and you try to peer inside. There's some torchlight in there and a few beds. There's you get a glimpse of a bookshelf, and near one of the beds is a vase with a bunch of withered flowers in it.
Is anyone in the room?
You don't see anyone in well, you see figures in one of the beds that you can see here.
So I see one figure in one bed.
Yeah, you're peeking through the crack in the door that's ajar here, and in like the flickering torchlight, you do see that there is a bed, and near the bed, yeah, there's a table, there's a vase, there's some flowers.
Okay. I'm going to unsheath my knife and creep toward the bed.
Okay, you are going to push open this door, and why don't you give me an agility test to see if you can sneak past without being heard.
That is an 18 with my modifier.
Ooh, yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay. You open the door soundlessly and slip in, and as you go over to the bed, you raise your knife and you look down at the figure, and it's a skeleton.
Like it's a living skeleton, or is it just a dead body?
It's a dead body stripped of any flesh, laying in this bed. You silently creep over to the second bed, and there are two skeletons intertwined in that bed.
I'm going to.
You also, as you're looking around the room, you see and hear that there's a giant bookshelf, and to the north there is a heavy door closed.
So there's a door in this room.
Yep, there's another door that takes you further.
I'm gonna pocket a finger bone from the first skeleton that I came across. And I will head
Y'all
back.
have been playing way too much Elden Ring. Everybody's trying to steal fingers left and right.
I haven't played it at all.
I'm
I'm just a necromancer.
I'm just fucking weird.
Seek fingers.
While Uther is doing that,
Mhm.
this is the first time you will see the decrepit one more interested in something other than a body he can take bits from. I'm gonna go look at the bookshelf.
Okay, so you're following Uther into the room?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like I kind of
Uh,
waited until Uther was about to stab and realized it was skeleton, and then I just scuttled right on in.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna take the finger bone out of my pocket and just go, hey, this is for you.
And like I actually just stand up straight, walk over, take it from you, nod, and then scuttle back over to the bookshelf. Like acts completely normal for half a second. Is there anything interesting on the bookshelf?
Yeah, if you want to study the bookshelf more closely, why don't you roll a d4 for me?
Ooh.
I am going to kind of. Oh, I'm sorry.
Two.
And I'm kind of quietly like having Francois carry me over to where the decrepit one is standing because I'm interested in the books as well.
Yeah, you splish splash through this river where the black violet butterflies are, and all of you, Carl, are you also entering this room?
No,
Or are you hanging back? Okay.
I'm hanging back.
Roll a d4 for to examine this bookshelf, Raven.
Humor
Okay.
isn't lost on Carl.
Just these.
I got a 3.
Okay. Raven, any text that you look at here, Haria, any text that you look here seems to be utterly incomprehensible to you. But
That's okay. I
when
wasn't going to read it fully anyway.
the decrepit one, when you read, you feel that you're getting lightheaded.
No.
I'm muttering to myself about power and ancient scrolls and like almost like I'm talking to someone at this point, like someone that isn't me. I'm actually going to investigate further.
You read further, and as you do, you're feeling a sense of clarity as you're piecing together some sort of secret message that is speaking to you. It seems like it was left here only for you.
Okay.
The world is becoming clearer, and also Uther, as you are looking at the decrepit one, he seems like not more agitated, but like his movements are smoother and faster. Ian, the decrepit one, has +2 on oh wait, I think I'm reading this the wrong way. I apologize. It says DR +2 on presence and agility tests. That means that your presence and agility tests are 2 harder.
Yes.
It's not a bonus for you.
Opposite.
It's an increase on the difficulty.
Perfect.
Pretend all of my narration I just did is the opposite.
Okay.
So does he actually look, in fact, like more agitated and
Yes. You're lightheaded. You are getting lost in the maze of this text. You're peering through the pages further and further, looking for some sort of hidden meaning here, and you feel like it's at the cusp of your mind, and you just can't grasp it. And you do see that the decrepit one is getting jerky, more agitated. Is going from book to book, looking for any more learning that he can find, and is muttering, coming up empty.
The book was yellow and labeled Mork Borg.
I can't follow any of this.
What is this? What is this drivel?
Who does this? What is this?
How am I supposed to roll on this?
Hold on, let me go grab House of Leaves off my shelf too.
Mork Borg does give me some House of Leaves vibes for sure. as your mind is going slightly crazy, does this seem like an okay time to take a little bit of a break?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. You see the decrepit one just like getting like more and more like just pulling things off, looking at them, and then throwing them over his shoulder and just like rifling through this bookshelf, and then just stop.
And I will volunteer to get smacked in the face by one of those. Because I'm like right there with you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so super absorbed in what I'm doing. Nothing else exists for me for a minute. I'm just like, and I just stop.
And so when I get hit, like my like face plate thing falls off, and you just see like this gooey like substance, like almost like clinging to it as it falls, and it just kind of like drips and reveals this very like dead, rotten, burned flesh. And
Carl should have given you that anti-infection potion.
right. And so then I just
You
kind
just
of
see
like
Carl tinkering.
I bend down and I snag the face plate and I like look at it, and now it's filthy, and I just kind of lick it.
The beauty of books is absolutely lost on Uther, so he's watching all of this happen in front of this bookshelf. He's just like, a bunch of losers.
It's just,
Oh, I always heard of this reading thing, and it looks way different than I thought.
and then I'm just like, nothing. That's it.
Okay.
And
Scene.
and scene. We're gonna take a break. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in 5-10 minutes. Thank you everyone who's tuned in so far. I hope you're enjoying our Mork Borg game. This is fun.
It is fun.
It's different. I'm so used to running 5e that like the pace of it and how light it is it's leaving a lot for me to kind of like fill in a little bit. It's interesting.
Nice.
You gotta describe and what do you call it? Like freehand a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Nice.
neat.
Awesome. Well, we'll be right back. Make sure you check out our sponsors and don't go anywhere for part 2 of Rotblack Sludge coming 5-10 minutes.
Okay.